Candace Parker, you've upset the Reese's Pieces and they're not happy about it. They're gonna
The basketball world thrives on passion, where every play, every stat, and every opinion can spark a firestorm that burns through social media and sports talk shows like wildfire. Recently, Candace Parker, a WNBA legend with a resume that includes championships, Olympic medals, and a basketball IQ that could outsmart a chess grandmaster, found herself at the epicenter of such a blaze. Her crime? Offering a measured, analytical take on a tier list ranking of WNBA players, specifically placing Chicago Sky's Angel Reese in the C tier. What followed was a digital explosion, with Reese's fervent fanbase, often dubbed the Reese's Pieces, taking to platforms like X to defend their star with the intensity of a playoff game. The fallout wasn't just about basketball, it was a cultural moment, a clash of expectations, narratives, and the ever-sensitive dynamics of critique in women's sports. Let's unpack the chaos, the arguments, and the uncomfortable truths that surfaced in this saga, while diving into why this drama resonates far beyond the court. Candace Parker's tier list wasn't meant to be a Molotov cocktail lobbed into the WNBA fandom. It was a professional assessment from someone who's seen the game from every angle, player, analyst, and champion. She placed A'ja Wilson, the reigning MVP with multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards and 2 championships, at the pinnacle, potentially beyond the S tier if such a category existed. Napheesa Collier and Caitlin Clark landed in the A tier, with Clark's placement tempered by the caveat that she needs more years and defensive impact to reach the elite echelon. Angel Reese, however, was slotted into the C tier, a ranking that Parker justified by highlighting Reese's strengths, particularly her offensive rebounding, while noting she's not yet a primary or secondary option capable of carrying a team. Cameron Brink, another rookie, was also placed in the C tier, described as an unknown due to her limited professional sample size. On paper, this ranking seems reasonable, especially from a veteran like Parker, whose perspective is informed by decades of high-level play. Reese, a rookie, has shown flashes of brilliance, particularly in her ability to crash the boards and secure double-doubles, but her game has clear limitations, turnovers, inefficient shooting, and a reliance on scripted rotations that maximize her strengths. Parker's take wasn't a personal attack. It was a clinical evaluation of where Reese stands relative to the league's best. Yet, the moment her comments hit the internet, they were met with a tidal wave of outrage from Reese's fans who interpreted the C-tier placement as a slight not just on their star but on the narrative they've built around her. The Reese's Pieces, as her fanbase is affectionately known, are a force. They've championed Reese since her LSU days, where she led the Tigers to a national championship and became a cultural icon with her unapologetic confidence and flair. Her transition to the WNBA was accompanied by a media machine that amplified her every move on and off the court. From her double-double streak to her post-game press conferences dripping with charisma, Reese has been marketed as a generational talent, a player who transcends basketball with her brand, style, and social media savvy. To her fans, she's not just a player. She's a symbol of empowerment, particularly for Black women, in a league where representation and recognition have historically been hard-fought battles. So when Parker, a Black woman and WNBA icon herself, placed Reese in the C tier, it wasn't just a basketball opinion, it was a lightning rod. Fans accused Parker of hating, with some going as far as to label her comments as jealousy or an attempt to tear down another Black woman. The irony was palpable. A fan base that often champions protecting Black women turned on Parker with a ferocity that rivaled their defense of Reese. Social media posts on X erupted with memes, rants, and accusations, painting Parker as a villain who dared to question the anointed queen of Chicago. The narrative quickly shifted from basketball analysis to personal betrayal, with fans framing Parker's critique as an attack on Reese's character rather than her game. But let's pause and look at the substance of Parker's argument. Reese's rookie season was a mixed bag. Her double-double streak was historic, no question, but it was also carefully curated. The Chicago Sky's rotations and play calling were designed to feed Reese opportunities, particularly on the offensive glass, where she excels. Her stats, 13.6 points and 12.3 rebounds per game in 2024, look impressive at first glance, but dig deeper and the cracks appear. Her field goal percentage hovered around 40%, and her free throw shooting was a dismal 71%. Turnovers were a persistent issue, averaging 2.1 per game, with some nights seeing her cough up the ball as many as 5 or 6 times. These aren't the numbers of a player ready to be the first or second option on a contending team, as Parker noted. They're the numbers of a role player with immense potential but plenty of room to grow. Compare that to Caitlin Clark, whom Parker placed in the A tier. Clark, the Indiana Fever's rookie phenom, averaged 17.1 points, 8.2 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game in 2024, with a 41% field goal percentage and 34% from three. Her ability to stretch defenses with logo range shooting and facilitate for teammates like Aaliyah Boston made her a matchup nightmare. Defenders didn't just guard Clark, they chased her like she was a fugitive, often double-teaming her full court to disrupt her rhythm. Yet she still delivered, setting records for assists and showing poise under pressure that belied her rookie status. Parker's higher ranking for Clark wasn't about favoritism, it was about production and impact. The comparison between Reese and Clark is where things get messy. Fans and media have pitted the two against each other since their college days, framing them as the next Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, a rivalry steeped in contrasting styles and narratives. Reese, the brash, rebounding force; Clark, the sharp-shooting floor general. But as Parker pointed out, the comparison is flawed. They play different positions, with different roles and expectations. Clark's game is built on precision and vision, while Reese's relies on hustle and physicality. To compare them directly is to miss the point of what makes each player unique. Yet the Reese fanbase saw Parker's tier list as not just a critique of Reese, but an elevation of Clark at her expense, fueling accusations of bias. Enter Kennedy Carter, the former Sky Guard turned Chaos agent. While Reese's fans were battling it out online, Carter took to X with a level of pettiness that deserves its own Hall of Fame exhibit. No longer with the Sky after a tumultuous stint, Carter reveled in the team's struggles, posting cryptic jabs and memes that seemed to mock both Reese and the organization. Her trolling was less about basketball and more about personal vendettas, as if she were settling scores from her time in Chicago. Carter's posts added fuel to the fire, turning an already heated debate into a full-blown circus. She wasn't just a bystander. She was the DJ spinning the soundtrack to the Sky's implosion, and fans ate it up, amplifying her shade with retweets and laughter. The Sky's 2024 season didn't help matters. Finishing with a 13-27 record, they missed the playoffs, and their on-court chemistry often looked like a science experiment gone wrong. Reese's stat-padding moments, grabbing offensive rebounds for quick putbacks, were highlights, but they couldn't mask the team's broader issues: poor spacing, inconsistent shooting, and a defense that often left opponents wide open. Carter's trolling felt like a commentary on this dysfunction, and while it was entertaining, it also underscored the deeper tensions within the fanbase and the organization. At the heart of this drama is a broader question: what happens when hype outpaces performance? Reese's brand is undeniable. Her Instagram reels, TikTok dances, and larger-than-life persona have made her a marketing juggernaut. She's a walking highlight reel, complete with mean mugs and post-game sound bites that go viral before the final buzzer. But basketball isn't played on social media, and the WNBA isn't a popularity contest. Parker's critique, while blunt, was rooted in this reality. Reese's game, for all its flash, lacks the polish needed to be a top-tier player. Her turnovers, 10 in a single game against the New York Liberty in July 2024, aren't just mistakes, they're momentum killers. Her shooting woes, particularly from the free throw line, limit her effectiveness in crunch time. And her defensive impact, while improving, isn't yet at the level of the league's elite.